You've been a top sales producer and you've been promoted to sales leadership, and you're excited to develop and use your leadership skills. You're also excited to help your sales team grow and improve. And then reality sets in. Because in order to improve, you're measuring and tracking activity, asking for reports, and you start running into pushback and excuses such as, do you want me to sell, or do you want me to be an admin? Or the standard from veterans is, I know what I'm doing. I don't need to be micromanaged. Now, it can also happen in one-on-one coaching sessions. You're giving great suggestions to improve approaches, closes. Salesperson nods in agreement, and nothing changes. Might be time for the tough love or truth-telling conversations. Because if not, you might be what we call a conflict avoidant sales manager, and you're on your way to creating sales cultures of status quo, mediocrity, and don't rock the boat. And let's face it, no one really likes having the difficult conversations, but if you step into the role of leadership, it's part of your responsibility. So might be time to improve that bit of conflict avoidance. And the number one thing I can suggest is apply the EI skill of emotional self-awareness. Get that downtime and ask yourself a few questions. What's making me conflict avoidant? Maybe it's time to change perspective, because when you are approaching someone with a difficult conversation, it actually means I care enough about your performance to give you some difficult feedback. Might be considered conflict, maybe it's considered caring. Might have to ask yourself this question. Do you have a higher need to be liked than a higher need to go to the bank and have your sales team go to the bank? I'm going to take you back a few years to when I was in my 20s. Don't even try to do the math. And I had what you would call the tough love boss. I was a sportswear buyer, and you talk about a culture of accountability. Every day there'd be a set of reports on your desk, and by store, by SKU, it would tell you what was selling or not selling. And it was not unusual for my boss to come in, sit down, start drilling me on the numbers. What's selling, not selling, what's your plan? Now, by today's standards, it might not have been considered an emotionally intelligent conversation. It might have been considered a tough love conversation. And that bad boss, that difficult boss, let me tell you something. He taught me to know my numbers, and he taught me to know my business. And those lessons served me well as a sales professional, sales leader, and now someone that owns a sales training firm. So if you're conflict avoidant, get some of that downtime. And it might be time for you to share a little tough love to raise the performance of your sales team. I'm Colleen Stanley, President of Sales Leadership.